Hi, I'm Jay Soul, Morgan Stanley's branded apparel and footwear analyst, and I'm very pleased to be joined again by Pam Goodfellow, Senior Consumer Insights Director at Prosper Insights and Analytics. Now, Prosper is a leading market research firm, and to their credit, last year they absolutely called that it was going to be a slow Christmas, and all year they've been calling for really strong restaurant sales, and I think that we've seen that has absolutely played out. Now, we're here today to talk about Christmas and Pam's holiday forecast. So right off the bat, Pam, what are you expecting for the Christmas season this year?
Well, the holiday season looks pretty bright this year. We're calling for about a 4.8% increase in spend on gifts, decor, cards, food, and flowers over what consumers spent last year. So it's a pretty optimistic compared to the past couple of years.
And what's driving that? What do you see in the consumer and how the consumer's behavior is changing that leads you to believe that it'll be a little bit better this year?
Well, we've actually seen consumer confidence really pop this fall. September and November, we saw 7-year highs in consumer confidence. Consumers are backing off from some of that practicality and focus on necessities that we saw during the recession. And I think really gas prices easing are helping budgets this year.
You know, it's interesting. And, you know, within the consumer behavioral segment, can you talk about millennial customers? A lot of focus on millennials, how their behavior is changing, how they may be able to drive spending. What are you seeing in that millennial consumer?
Right. Millennials are definitely a hot segment to watch, and they'll definitely be important for driving future spending. But right now, looking at 2014 holiday season, they're actually the smallest spending segment, and their outlook is relatively flat year over year. For holiday 2014, you really want to look at the Boomer and Gen X crowds. These are the consumers that are spending the most and driving the increase this year.
So you're telling me I have to probably spend more. I don't want to fall behind my peers being Generation X and stuff. So
right. It falls on our shoulders this year.
All right. Oh, and just, following up on millennials, when you think about what categories, not just millennials, but all consumers, what categories do you think will be the strongest? We mentioned restaurants, but what else do you see out there?
Well, gift cards are the perennial hit with consumers. You can take them to the restaurants and the home improvement stores and really customize your gift there. They're at the top of consumers' wish lists this year, and they're also one of the top categories consumers plan to buy this year. But of course, apparel, electronics, even jewelry has increased this year. So we're seeing some broad interest in a lot of different categories this year.
Interesting. All right, and then maybe lastly, let me ask you about online, because you've been tracking consumer behavior online for over 10 years. Do you think this is another year where online can take share from just overall retail sales?
Definitely. I think this might be the year for online to really break through. We've seen about 56% of consumers plan to shop online this year, and that's an increase of more than 30% over 5 years ago. They're starting to rival discount stores and department stores in the kind of tiers of channels here, and with the consumers' growing dependence on mobile and acceptance of mobile, I think this is really going to be a digital holiday this year.
Interesting. Well, Pam, always great to have you here. Very interesting stuff as usual. Again, Pam Goodfellow, Senior Consumer Insights Director of Prosper Insights and Analytics. I'm Jay Soul, Morgan Stanley's branded apparel and footwear analyst. Thanks so much for your time.